So, hi, how you doing? Good? Okay, that's good. You asking me how I am doing? Well, I had a bit of a roller coaster yesterday. You see, I uploaded a video about 24 hours ago, and I will be the first to admit that things got a little out of control. The video has now become my most disliked video on this channel. That's fun, and we get these cute cringe moments like this. Fuck. I promised I wasn't gonna curse in this video. I wanted to keep this clean, but fuck, why? Why would they do this? Why would they do this? I don't know. Embrace the cringe so it can't be used against you. Master Yoda. So today I want to take another approach to this topic. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Jagex is about to release new fresh servers in old school RuneScape and RuneScape 3 both, giving new players a fresh start, and also everyone has to make new accounts. There is a whole thing about the economy, how it affects the balance of the game, botting, Jagex money grabbing, yada yada yada. We're not gonna talk about any of those things because there's been about 10 other content creators, me included, who went over those. Today I want to talk about the players who are actually supposed to benefit from this, the newbies. So let's say there is a light at the end of this very dark and long tunnel, and the update comes out in October on old school RuneScape. New fresh servers, you make a new account, you pay $12 for it, and you have the entire world of Killenor at your hands. Great. The thing about old school RuneScape is it is the most solo MMO I've ever played in my entire life, and I think even Jagex can agree with that. It's just how the groundwork has been built up and carried throughout the years. And that's not necessarily bad. I mean, according to this webpage, we are the number 3 most played MMO in 2022. That has to mean something. And that's what doesn't make sense to me. How exactly are these new words supposed to make old school RuneScape more accessible to new players if the entire design of the game is meant to be solo experience until you basically get to endgame bossing, in which case you likely played for a long time already. Quest point cape, your first 99, achievement tires, medium tier bosses, all solo content by design. If anything, putting new players into this bloated economy will make it even more difficult for them to achieve these solo goals, since not everything is accessible due to GE limits and there is naturally a lower player base, right? Not to mention, if you have a lot of new players just spawning in at the exact same time, it makes it even more confusing, as there really isn't nobody there to help you out to learn this world. All you have are these other newbies who know exactly as much as you do. Unless of course existing players also join these fresh servers, but like Jagex said themselves, their aim is only for the new players. They only want to focus on that group. The whole thing at the moment feels like this faulty system that can be fixed if we elevate the idea to next level. I genuinely believe this current version of fresh servers will not have any effect on getting new players into old school RuneScape at the current form. But, and it's a big, round, juicy, thick but, with enough brainstorming, with enough help from the community, I think we can make this update worthwhile and actually make it worth investing time in. My only question in this video is, why can't we do things where everyone benefits? We involve existing players, we invite new players, we give Jaggy Baggy money, and we also get more value for that money. Because right now it feels like the actual player base is left behind once again. The player base that makes up most of what old school RuneScape is actually about, and I think it's a very powerful weapon that Jagex hasn't to this day managed to utilize properly to gain more players. So let's get started and let me show you how to weaponize us. That sounded wrong, but we'll go with that. Firstly, I want to mention that you're never ever gonna get an update that 100% of players agree with. That's just human nature. Everyone wants different things, so it makes sense that you add in updates that majority of players like. Hence why we have the voting system. So if you disagree with me, good, please. I wanna know your opinion. Maybe you have better ideas on this. Let me know in any way you can. Comment under this video, Discord, Twitch, wherever you can access me. Now, if this fresh servers was up to me, this is how I would do it, to make sure all parties are happy with this. The owners, the players, and so on. We make the fresh servers, but instead everyone is assigned a role before you start playing. There are 2 roles in the servers. The first one is student and the second one is teacher. How this works is that every student is assigned a teacher and teachers can take on multiple students. To become a teacher, your account must have at least certain total level, certain amount of hours played and no previous offenses. We can add in even more restrictions here if needed. Let's say you take a student and start teaching them how to play. It has to have benefits for the both sides, right? So how about, for instance, we make rewards for teaching students that can be transferred to your main account? Like here is an example. Let's say you and the student manage to complete a Dragon Slayer 1, a very meaningful early game quest. You get 32 quest points, you get the combat stats. As soon as the student finishes this, you are rewarded, let's say, cosmetic override, for example, your weapons, your armor, maybe even related to Rage 3, the biggest update of the year. We could make this fresh servers annual thing and somehow attach the rewards to whatever the biggest update that year becomes. And the student gets like, I don't know, a 20k experience lamp, something that can't be abused but also is useful for the new player to give them that small boost to get them going. Because that's another thing, right? The rewards have to be meaningful enough to keep players in play, but also not so meaningful that botters, gold farmers and so on can't abuse it. Luckily, the good thing is that it's temporary, so it can't be abused forever. We could add different tiers of rewards to the students, aka getting their first level 70 in a skill, completing achievement tiers, quests, clues, mid-level bosses and so on. And every time the teacher helps them, they also get benefits out of it in some ways. We could even make different tiers of helping. Let's say you're a teacher but you don't want to start a new account on the servers. You could help the students by just through chatting with them. Which brings me to another point. Let's say your teacher is offline but you still want to play. We make friend chat dedicated only for this server where all the students and teachers can come together and discuss this game. I remember we had Leagues 3 friend chats where everyone was always asking questions and we had such a helpful community towards new players, so I know for a fact this has been tested and it works. We can make forum threads where students can ask specific questions. You know how in Reddit there is a daily question thread where every old school RuneScape player can ask questions they usually can't find from Wiki. Something like that but with the fresh servers instead. There was also this really good idea I saw already a few weeks ago saying that completing all free-to-play quests should provide the player an untradeable one-off 7-day bond. And I thought it was such a brilliant idea. It could really work in this situation with the servers. Think about it. It gives the new players a reward for playing the game correctly. It guides them in the right direction. It also introduces bonds to new players as a form of currency, which in turn could help Jagex in a long run. Imagine if a new player gets the untradeable 7-day bond, uses it and enjoys his or her first week of membership. Jagex in long run is gonna get their money back at least in tenfold if that player sticks around for another 6 months or so, which is also the time you kinda get into endgame, which could add even more benefits to everyone. So this little 7-day bond could benefit Jagex and the players. Everyone wins. You could even add more safe measurements, like needing an authenticator, bank pin, proven email account, maybe even add in a phone number to reduce people abusing the 7-day bond, so you get genuine, legit new players and not just bot farms. My end point is we get everyone involved so players can't say they feel left out. Jagex still gets their money from new users, experienced players can get these rare cosmetic items, and new players get a small boost that can't be abused to get through early and mid game and get them addicted to this game, which, let's be honest, is our end goal here. Because trust me, we as a community also want new players in this game. That's why I think we should work on this together. The bonds, the rewards, the cosmetics, the experience, it just gives something to look forward for everyone involved and nobody feels left out. That's it. This is just an idea, okay? We can work on this. I 100% agree, even this idea has its flaws that needs to be fixed. But at least it's more than just let's throw new players into these new worlds and let them figure it out. Because right now the current idea feels so poorly thought out that I wouldn't be surprised if it makes things worse rather than better. I think there is a silver lining to this awful update that so far seemingly nobody likes. But we can fix this together. Thank you for watching this video. Come check out my stream on twitch.tv Kriibus and I'll see you guys in a few days with another video. I love you all. Bye. Mwah.